Welcome to the SFL Postgame Show tonight. Two thrillers down to the wire as Louisville wins the game in the final minute, 40-33, and Sioux Falls intercepts a Hail Mary attempt from Los Angeles to hold on and beat the Sharks 34-27. 31 points in the second half for Sioux Falls. The call-in number is 210-473-8428. If you were a player, coach, or owner on the field or on the sidelines or in the press box tonight or the suites in the SFL stadiums, give us a call. Give us your reactions to what you saw from your team on the field tonight. 210-473-8428. I have a 717 area code. You're on the SFL Postgame Show. Who do I got with me? 717.
It's Michael Osai.
Hey, Michael Osai. Tough loss tonight. You really did come alive. 8 catches, 120 yards in this ball game. Can you put into words how you were able, how your defense was able to intercept Skeletor P-Funk 4 times and still came up short?
Well, that's just a testament to Louisville. They're a great team. There's a reason they're ranked number 1, and whenever you have a team that's like that, they're going to be consistent. They're going to keep fighting, so you have to be able to be ready to play a whole 4 quarters of football. So that's just a testament to how good Louisville can be in any situation you put them in.
Did I say your name correctly tonight? I want to just make sure.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, perfect. Yeah, good stuff tonight out of the Crabs. You jumped out to that early lead. Snyder Dazzo rather, pretty good in his debut, 26 of 38. Elliott Snyder really came alive, 26 carries, 147 yards. I know that you work closely with Tim Johnston, the owner, and I know that Baltimore has really the biggest staff in the league. I'm guessing there's been an emphasis to get Elliott Snyder re-energized this season. Did you get that sense coming into this week?
Well, he's a great halfback, and if you see what he did in the training camp battle, he was coming alive then, and we think we can utilize him because he has a very good skill set, obviously, and if we can find the right ways to use him, that just makes the more weapons you have, the better, and the easier it is to score. So we really want to get Elliott involved this season, along with the passing offense, to just be the best offense we can possibly be and utilize everything we have.
Carter Williams, Deshaun Miller, they both have 2 interceptions. Are you glad that they're not defending you on game days and just in practice?
That just makes it better. The better competition I have practice, the better I'm going to get open, and those guys did an outstanding job coming up. They really, they stepped up to the plate, and I'm really glad that they showed flashes of what they can do. So hopefully they can stay consistent because I don't mind having 4 interceptions from my secondary all season.
Now, Mike, let's be for real here. In practice, do they pick you off? Do they take the ball away from you, or are you all over it?
I'm gonna no comment on that too. we each come up with what I get some, they get some, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
You made that a lose-lose situation. I didn't do anything. That was on you, man. Baltimore heads to Queen City, or actually, no, you host Queen City next week. I believe it'll be your first game in front of the home fans. I know Louisville's got a raucous crowd, but you got a little taste of that environment at Old Bay Stadium in the training camp battle. What does it mean for you to come back home and face the defending champs, in front of your home fans in your first official game as a starting receiver for Baltimore?
That means everything. It's going to be a good game. There's going to be great. I want to show the city that I'm going to step into that role that Elijah Bishop left whenever he went to L.A. and they traded for a pick. And I wouldn't rather have it against any other team than the defending championships. You got to play the best to be the best. That's what happened tonight. That's going to happen for the first couple weeks here in the season. We're going to play the best. I believe you said the first, out of the top 5 or top 6, you said that's our schedule. We're going to get most of the teams in that. So you got to play the best to be the best. And what better way to have it in front of the people that care about you and ones that are going to be supporting you the most in Baltimore.
Big plus of playing on Thursdays. You get to see all the all the SFL teams in action before you take the field. What of the first 2 nights of the season, what stood out to you most as a member of Baltimore, watching everyone else around the league?
Well, as you said, I work with TJ, so I was definitely paying attention to the Queen City game. Wanted to get learn about what they're all about, learn about what to look for next week when we're playing them. Also watch Minneapolis, DC, just taking it all in as through a fan's perspective and also a scout's perspective. That way I know what coming for, and I can also enjoy the league as a fan of football and a fan of the simulation game.
Mike, you're a rookie into this league. How did you get involved with the SFL? And I know you were picked relatively early. And man, you may have been the most sought after player in SFL history leading into the rookie draft. There were so many teams I know that wanted to scoop you up. What was all that like leading up to that moment when you were taken?
Well, it's a great feeling. Everyone came in that they contacted me. They were very friendly. They were very inviting. And just the fact that I was that sought after, it was just very good. Showing what the league was about, and it's all about friendly faces, and we can have fun here. We can trash talk. We can just put it all on the line. And I learned about through some sim YouTubers, some sim football YouTubers advertising it every now and again. So I thought I'd check it out, and ever since then, it's been one of the best decisions I've made. Really keep me entertained through my life. Really great thing that I can do in my off time here. And I just want to thank everyone for who's listening and who has been so friendly for their friendliness between this first couple months I've been a part of the Simulation Football League.
Good stuff, Mike. Appreciate the time.
Right. Thanks for having me on.
Mike Osai, wide receiver of the Baltimore Crabs, 8 catches, 120 yards in the Baltimore 40-33 loss tonight. Open line 210-473-8428. Want to mention Julian Tyree, 40 of 48, 471 yards. He threw no picks tonight against the Sharks defense. Career highs in completions and yards for Julian Tyree tonight. Again, the number 210-473-8428. Week 1 in the books in the North Division. Baltimore and Queen City, or Queen City and D.C. rather, at the top of the North. Louisville and Dallas atop the East. West Division, Sioux Falls all alone at the top, 1-0. South has 3 victors: Tallahassee, Orlando, and Santa Fe. Heading into Week 2, you see the Week 2 schedule there as NYC takes on Carolina, Orlando takes on Sioux Falls, and Los Angeles will be at Oklahoma City for all 3 of those teams' home openers. Those are the spotlight games next week. Houston's at Tallahassee, a rematch of the Teal Conference semi last year. Minneapolis at Santa Fe, very compelling matchup there. Queen City at Baltimore, of course, a tremendous battle between 2 top-tier teams. Dallas is at Cleveland. See if the Roughnecks can somehow go 2-0 with 2 games on the road. Louisville also at D.C. We've got an open line, 210-473-8428. Feel free to call in. 2 good close games tonight. Los Angeles, they were up 13-0 late in the first half, but the momentum started to turn in the third quarter. Just really struggled and lost a lot of momentum. Benny Beasley only carried the ball a handful of times tonight, but had 17 catches, 154 yards. As some would like to say, Swing City in Sioux Falls. And it'll be interesting to see how defenses try to collapse those efforts, because as we saw Wednesday night from Tallahassee's defense, boy, the swing passes on the outside sure can be contained if there's an effort to be made defensively. So good stuff. End of Week 1. And it is a very interesting Week 1, no doubt about that. It was one of the closest Week 1s in SFL history, and we don't have the data just yet on SFL opening weeks. But when you look across the league, and I'll get to that point in just a moment. 313, you're on the SFL postgame show.
Damn.
Who do I got with me?
AJ, pick six, AJ Levy.
AJ Levy, man, that had to feel really good. First of all, your boy Zeno Zika with 2 interceptions and that one diving play that he made, sensational. That's the play every defensive back dreams of, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Cam. It was a beautiful interception, and the defense overall, I thought, played excellent. There's a few things that need to be tweaked, but at the same time, I'm overall pleased with the effort.
Defensively, you contained Park Heachel. That's all that's all you guys probably heard about in the offseason. Park Heachel. How are you going to stop Park Heachel? Sioux Falls actually did a pretty good job containing Heachel last year, even when he was in Queen City. Was it more of the same for you guys this week, even though you didn't have any film on what type of offense LA may be running with him?
Pretty much went with the same concept going into this season. And like you said, not having any film on the team, just had to guesstimate for the most part what they were going to do. And, with me helping Jason out on the defensive side as coordinator, my plan was to prevent anything from happening out on the outside as far as swing pass. They may have got a little bit out there, but, overall, stopping the run was a big deal, and we managed to do that.
Besides getting the W tonight, what stood out as a happy moment for you tonight in this game and getting a road win?
Not giving up many big plays. That was my concern coming into this game, knowing what Doug Bose has done on the offensive side when he was in Oklahoma City as offensive coordinator. My plan was to stop any big plays because, as a lot of people know, coming into this season, when, Doug Bose and Ed Ritter took over, back then the Bulldogs, now the Sharks, everyone was thinking, okay, offensive genius coming in here, he's going to put up big points, and, something I didn't want to prevent, Jason didn't want to prevent. And, that was our goal, to try to stop them. And, in the end, we did that. And at the same time, our offense put up big numbers.
What did you guys say to Julian Tyree at the half? Because he came out possessed in the second half. It was an unbelievable 180 for him.
He was a little impatient in the first half. And I think he got kind of, rattled when we went forward on 4th and inches. Didn't manage to convert, and we just told him relax, play your game, and he managed to come out and do that in the second
half. You're atop the West Division all by yourself. Los Angeles, Minneapolis, OKC all suffer Week 1 losses. Minneapolis now has to go to Santa Fe, and LA and Oklahoma City play each other. You got to feel pretty good, even though it's just Week 1, about where you guys sit.
Most definitely. Coming into the season, we didn't know what to expect throughout the league, period. And, I know Jason had a prediction. We're going to win big and, play hard every week. This is Week 1. And going to take it 1 week at a time and, go from there.
What were your thoughts on LA coming into the game? Obviously, a franchise that went 1-11 last year, but Doug Bose had pretty good success on the offensive side of the ball, as you said, from OKC, and Ed Ritter did some good things or did everything in his power to make San Francisco more competitive in that difficult situation. How did you personally perceive LA this offseason and the moves that they made and what they were going to do coming out in Week 1? Were you surprised by their game plan tonight, or did things fall in line for your expectations?
For the most part, I thought they were just going to stretch the field, big plays, have Heachel run outside, gash us for big yards, and for some odd reason, I guess the play calling didn't work to their benefit, and we took advantage of it.
You start the game with a 7-minute drive on the field. and you end up giving up only 3 points. It may, in fact, be the longest drive in SFL history. I'm not sure I've seen many longer than that. Were you exhausted at that point?
Pretty much so.
Yeah, I bet. Well, AJ, thank you so much for the time, and get get Zen an adult beverage. I think he deserves it tonight.
Oh, he deserves a keg for sure.
All right, thank you much, man. I appreciate it.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to say, good job by the LA Sharks organization. And, congratulations to Jason McGee. You deserve it, buddy.
All right, thank you. AJ Levy of the Sioux Falls Sparrows. He and the secondary had a pretty good night, picked off Murdoch Mock twice. Open line now, 210-473-8428. Have time for a couple of more callers here on the Thursday night as we wrap up week one. A couple of days off for the league to prepare for Sunday night, Carolina NYC. Very interesting game. Of course, Sultan Muhammad, the gold receiver, will be going up against the gold corner for Carolina, Blake Chance. Maurice Spurgeon, I'm sure, will spend a little bit of time on him as well. Carolina looking for a bounce-back game, most certainly, after losing 40-14 to the DC Dragons Wednesday night. But very compelling week one, as I was saying before the call. Queen City wins by 5. The Dallas game ended up being just a 12-point game. Of course, 2 7-point margins tonight. Tallahassee won by 2. Orlando won by 3. If you're keeping track at home, that's 5 of the 8 games that resulted in one-possession wins in the SFL. We provide competition, and these owners and these coaches have done a tremendous job. Looking at the top players of the night, Jordan Jennings also was a fantastic tonight. 207 yards in his new uniform on 12 catches, 1 touchdown. And had a really good game. Jace Jefferson, 13 total tackles. Going to Louisville, Andre Khrushchev, 10 tackles tonight. A lot of good, strong performances. Macho Fogg for LA, the wide receiver, he showed a lot of good things in the training camp battle and against Orlando, and he showed out tonight, a $131 on 2 grabs as well. Skeletor P. Funk ended up with a heavy stat sheet, 32 of 45, 464 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. 313, you are on the call. Who do I got with me?
Yes, this is Blake Tuzian, linebacker for the Baltimore Crabs.
Hey, Blake, thanks for joining us. I did get your name right on the cast tonight, didn't I?
Yeah, it's Tuzian.
Good deal. Tough game. It's so hard to fathom. You force 4 turnovers, but still give up 40. But the secondary, when you think about how the game sort of transpired, it was pretty good. I mean, they made a lot of great plays. Just got burnt on a few deep balls down the field. The one to Starbuck in the first half, the 2 to Kirkland late. As a linebacker, I mean, you're just turning around and seeing this sort of transpire behind you. What did your defensive unit talk about on the sidelines? What did you guys have to say to one another? Because I'm sure the situation turned frustrating and potentially ugly there late.
Yeah, we got 4 interceptions, so maybe more better like man coverage, or I don't really know.
What did you think overall of the game and the performance of Baltimore? Not half bad considering you're playing one of the best teams to ever grace the SFL and on the road for opening night.
Yeah, especially against like a number 1 team. We played a really good game. Especially we played good defense, but in the end, it went back and forth. But I think we played an overall good game, and that we just got to improve next week.
I'm sure you'll look back at the film, but just soaking up the game from watching it for the first time, What do you think that Baltimore's that your defensive unit can best improve in heading into week 2 when you host the defending champs?
Well, our defensive backs, safeties and stuff, and our defensive line, we just gotta stop the run in the deep passes.
What happened in the fourth quarter there with David Overstreet? I mean, you guys were all over him, and then in the fourth quarter, I mean, he just looked like he had fresh legs out there. Do you think that was the issue?
Yeah, that definitely was. We were just getting tired out there probably, because, going back and forth especially.
You gotten a chance to see any of the other games throughout the week on the SFL networks?
Yeah, I watched all the games all week.
Yeah. Any thoughts? Anybody stand out, player, team to you through week 1? Now that it's wrapped up.
I watched that Cleveland and Queen City game. They had a pretty good game, and especially Queen City. We're gonna have to go out there and just do our best.
All right. Any other thoughts, Blake, before we let you go?
No, that's it.
All right, man. Appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
Blake Tuzian, outside linebacker for the Baltimore Crabs. Have time for one more caller here as Louisville gets the victory 40-33. Sioux Falls tops Los Angeles 34-27. 210-473-8428 is the phone number. If we can get one more person in here, I'd love to hear maybe from a Shark. I know it's disappointing to take the week 1 loss. Also from Louisville too. I'd love to hear that stadium just erupted late in the last 2 minutes. That is a loud place, Blue Sun Stadium, and a tough place to play. And boy, Louisville fans have gotten to see some great games at home. They had that thriller when they topped Orlando again on a deep ball down the field. I think it was Blaylock, A.J. Blaylock, that made that game-winning catch against the Intimidators, and then of course ended up on the other end, the wrong end of the sticks, or of the results against the Houston Hyenas when Courtney Coleman made that brilliant play, and then also tonight 40-33. Also too, I'll open up the lines for anyone who wants to call in and just give their general thoughts about week 1. What changes maybe in your power rankings or your thoughts about the teams around the league? What game you're most looking forward to in week 2? It's a loaded schedule, and we just want to fill the air with callers if we can. But as mentioned, Sunday night slate: NYC at Carolina, Houston at Tallahassee, Minneapolis at Santa Fe. And it'll be interesting to see how these teams make adjustments. Orlando, Sioux Falls, Louisville, D.C. Those are the 2 games with 1-0 facing off against 1-0. Louisville, D.C. should be really interesting as both of those offenses put up 40 points in week 1. Home openers for Carolina, Santa Fe, Sioux Falls, Baltimore, Cleveland, and OKC in week 2. And a lot of divisional games, very important, as some of these are only one meeting this season. Houston, Tallahassee, Queen City, Baltimore, Dallas, Cleveland, Los Angeles, OKC, all battles within the division. Well, no more callers. This has been the SFL Network post-game show. We appreciate your time tonight and all the players and coaches and owners who supported us through week 1 of the SFL season. Week 2 begins Sunday night. This is SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine, and we thank you so much for joining us tonight and making week 1 a big success. Good night, everybody.